Welcome to Psychic Holistic Spotlight. This evening it is our great pleasure to co-host with Kendra and to introduce, like to introduce our guest, Kendra Bond, also known as Sister Wolf.
Thank you.
A great friend to man and human alike.
Thank you so much.
And many animals.
Many animals, many animals. And it's a pleasure to be here tonight with everyone and to share a little bit about Peace for Ponies. Peace for Ponies is a 501c nonprofit. It was created by a group of women who learned about little miniature horses going to slaughter, pregnant ones. So we decided that we would come together and create some healing salves for humans and animals and raise the money to put a barn up. And we put our barn up and we got our first mare last November. We call them all precious when they come.
Because they are precious.
Because they are. They don't know that yet. So we have to convince them, which can be challenging in many ways.
They've all been hard worked and
well, there's a lot of
difficulties.
different animals that go through the auctions. We buy the pregnant mares that don't get sold at auctions, so they tend to go for meat prices, so they usually end up going for meat. But it's really a horrifying state right now for horses in the world. The slaughtering is really getting out of control. So Europe.
And they're not very old, some of these horses.
Oh no, they'll take babies, they'll take pregnant mares, whatever they can get meat prices for.
Yeah, I mean the mare that you rescued, Precious, was only 7 years old.
She was only 7 years old. She's a wonderful little soul. She was scared, you couldn't touch her. You couldn't get near her, you couldn't touch her. Everything about her was fear. She had fear, aggression, and we worked with her. We did Reiki. She got her own massage every week and Tellington touch.
I'm jealous.
And I would go out in the barn and put my hands on her and sing or do Reiki or just share. And it's interesting because when the baby was born, he knew me because of all the work I had done before he got here. So it was an amazing journey for her and us.
Mares take 11 months.
11 months, yeah, 11 months to have a baby.
Yeah. And they can live in their 20s.
Well,
the little one's not as long?
No, the ponies usually live long. There's miniature horses are smaller than ponies, but they can live. It depends on, like us, the quality of their life.
Is this a miniature horse or a pony?
This is a miniature horse, which means it's under 38 inches tall at the withers.
3 foot at the shoulder.
Yeah, about that. And they're bred, the breeders breed them in different styles. You'll have a quarter horse, you'll have a thoroughbred, you might have an Arab-looking
Wow.
What are these things normally used for?
When people get older, like myself, and you don't want to be hauling 10 bales of hay a week, you only want to be hauling 2, and you want to be hauling little buckets of water instead of big buckets of water. And you can drive them in carriages, which is what they do. They show them in hand, they jump them over jumps in hand.
They're companions.
They are.
So it's a pet, kind of a
Like
working
a horse.
pet.
Like a horse, it's
Like
a
a
companion
working pet.
animal because you do drive them.
And they're very loving. Now, tell people what happens to these little critters if you don't save them.
Well, they end up going for meat. They end up getting slaughtered for meat, or they end up going and feeding wild animals live. There's a lot of different places that they go to that isn't very nice. But over
Horrifying.
300,000 horses a year go to slaughter in Canada or Mexico. They get loaded on trucks and trailers that are not really suited for horses. They just shove as many in there as they can. And then they haul them from, say, New Jersey or Pennsylvania all the way to Canada or Mexico. They don't get watered, they don't get fed, they get nothing, and then they're basically slaughtered alive. So a lot of people have stood up, especially Facebook. Facebook has been a wonderful, wonderful connection, and we're on Facebook, Peace for Ponies. We have all kinds of videos.
Say that again. What for ponies?
Peace for Ponies.
Peace for Ponies.
Yep, and we have a live webcam up that you can go on our earthlodge.org webpage, and you can actually see him.
Precious and Destiny.
Now,
Yes.
We have somebody out
Destiny is
there
the
that
baby.
wants to save another pony. What does it, how much of a donation would it take for them to save a pony?
For us to bring up a pregnant mare, it's about $1,500. By the time you purchase the mare, you have her trail it up here, you have a vet come, you have her teeth done, you have the farrier do her feet, you get her a halter, you get her a lead rope, you get a special diet. So there's a lot involved to getting them settled once they come up. So you can do it for less if you do more. Sometimes you'll be able to get a mini for $25 or $30. It depends on the meat prices and where they are and whether they've been sold. We focus on pregnant mares. And so we put up a webcam so everybody could watch the birth, and there were people around the world watching the birth. The webcam, when the satellites shift, sometimes the webcams go out. And people were calling me at 2 o'clock in the morning from Germany. Kendra, your cam's out. I can't see Precious. And I would run down and click it back on. And I said, where are you from? I'm from Germany. Okay, I can't see Precious. I cannot see Precious. I'm like, okay. So that we're looking to, it isn't just about us. It's about really rescuing a lot of different kinds of animals, but Peace for Ponies is a prototype. We made healing salves that we're selling. We're trying to get them down a production line and get them out there in stores and things so that we have a business that runs, that supports Peace for
Something
Ponies.
like the whatchamacallit spaghetti.
Exactly.
Spaghetti sauce.
But we want to do herbs and holistic products. So we're looking at that, and then let's say you said, oh gee, I would really like to start a cat rescue, but I can't afford it. We could say, we'll pick a product and we'll support you in making it. We'll run it down the distribution line, and then you'll have what you need for your rescue.
You said, you keep saying animals as if there's a lot of different kinds that you're interested in trying to save. Dogs, cats, ponies.
Rescues. We're interested in supporting those rescues because all the rescues that I'm connected with don't have enough.
What type of animals is what I'm trying to ask?
Ferrets, birds, dogs,
Yeah,
cats.
there are only a few bird rescue places.
Farm animals, sheep, chickens, all of it.
When a bird goes into a shelter of some sort, the odds are against it ever coming out. I don't
Parrot,
know.
you mean?
Yeah, because there are very few homes that will take them. They're
Because usually
one species.
when they go, it's usually because they're a screamer or, so they need a sanctuary, but that sanctuary needs some sort of income in order to run it. So by making holistic products, by having them all packaged with the same logo, your farm name would be on it, but the packaging would be Peace for Animals, and then have a distribution line that all the products go down. So that's where we are right now. We've built our barn, we've rescued our mare, we've made our salve.
But we haven't told anybody what happens to the foals.
Well, our intention is to place them where they need to be. And a lot of the mares that come up that are so abused, they don't need to go be riding ponies. They need to go be herd animals. Some people would like to call them lawn ornaments or friends to a big horse because they don't cost as much as keeping.
Animal.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So that's where a lot of the mares will go unless we can get them through their trauma and get them to be rideable or to be able to do driving.
The barns in your backyard?
It's just a very nice
Along with the
barn.
chickens, along with the Buddhas, along with the...
Just, you know, it's right past the bamboo garden and the koi ponds. It's only a 10 by 20 because we didn't want to have more than 2 at any time because that just makes it too big for us where we are. So we can only do 1 at a time. So we rescued Precious in November, and a month ago she foaled. She had Destiny, a little colt,
About
which
9 months?
11.
Out of 11.
We had
But you
no
had her for
idea.
9.
We had no idea when she was going to have her baby when she came.
Did you know she was pregnant when
Yes,
you got
we
her?
knew she was pregnant. We had the vet check her, and she was pregnant, but we had no idea when
How
she was
far,
going to
yeah.
have the baby. So we put a webcam in the stall, and so actually on Peace for Ponies Facebook page, you can go on and actually see the birth. The video of the birth is there.
How big was the pony when it was born?
Well, you know, it's funny, when they're born, they're not hydrated. So
They're kind of shrivelly?
They're kind of compact, and they come out like this, with their front feet and their chin.
But how big?
He was probably about this big in a little pile. You know, when he laid down with his legs like a dog would lay with his, he was probably about this big.
And when he stood up, he was like 18 inches tall
Yeah,
or
he
something?
was maybe about this big. But the next day, he was bigger, taller, plumper. Because as soon as they start nursing, they kind of fill right up with fluids and, yeah. And it's amazing.
Yeah, they come out with the hair and everything, right?
Oh, well, you know, it's funny. Years ago, I did horse photography, and I was out in a field on a horse looking for horses to photograph that were in 200-acre fields. And I was riding, and there was this hill, and there was manure in a circle. And I didn't know what it was. All day I was like, why is this, who put this manure in a circle? Because I couldn't imagine horses doing that much manure.
Standing around.
When I went back to the farm that night and we were having dinner, I asked, and he said, oh, that's where the mare foaled. When a mare in a herd foals, all the other mares face in. So
For protection.
And the smell of, they all poo and pee, so that the smell of the blood and the afterbirth,
so that it's hidden.
so that the wolves don't come, and that baby has to get up within 15 minutes and go. So they have to be able to run, and that's nature. So he was up and walking probably about 10 minutes after he was born, and then he was, the next morning, he was out, the first day he was out practicing bucking.
Kicking, yeah.
Bucking, and all the videos are there. We have a lot of fun with him. We got him a little ball, and he was kicking that around, and then we got him a little bigger ball, and then we got him a big ball, and he can spin it. He can take it anywhere, and now he has his own swimming pool. So
We are talking about a pony,
it got
right?
hot the other day, so we put a little kiddie pool in with him. But those are the things that you can watch this full thing. If I hadn't done anything with him, he wouldn't be thinking like he is.
Translate thinking with...
He sees that ball, and he knows that if he goes over there and he hits it at his mother, she's going to run away. So he hits that ball at his mother's butt, and she runs away, and then he runs with her, because it's a way for him to get her going. He thinks about things. He's engaged. He's connected.
And you're attributing this to your hands-on?
Everybody's been handling him. No,
Okay.
everybody's been handling him. I've been picking up his feet and looking in his mouth and touching him all over since he was born,
So
because
he'll be very gentle.
And how old is he now?
he's a month old.
Oh, just a little bitty still.
Yeah, he's just a little baby still. And they stay with their mother 4 or 5 months.
That's all?
Yeah. And then they usually are weaned about that time, about 5 months.
Oh.
And most breeders breed in the spring, so that if they breed in March, they have the babies in February. By the time the babies are 2 months old and they need to eat grass, the grass is here for them. So that's usually...
Planning it, as it were.
Yeah, most breeders will plan that.
Seasonally.
You know, and the breeders, I think, also need to step up. Why are there hundreds of quarter horses going to slaughter? What's happened to the breeders? Why?
Okay. Now,
Why are they breeding so
I'm
many?
connected to horses, but I really unknowledgeable.
Well, there are
Quarter horses are primarily...
a roping
yeah, but
cattle ranch
most people
horse.
are going to use them for pleasure riding.
No, they're a workhorse. They're a workhorse. They're the
a workhorse.
Western workhorse. They
Okay.
do the roping.
Well, what about in this area? We don't have a whole lot of cattle farms.
We don't have a whole lot of quarter horses either. We have more thoroughbreds, warmbreds, because people are showing, people are doing dressage.
Didn't you see a
Horses,
lot of
different
jumping?
breeds, they fit different areas of eventing. So you have your dressage, you have your eventing, you have your hunter jumpers.
Which is, I guess, what I see mostly, but I thought quarter horses were in with that. They're not.
Well, there are quarter horses up here, but the main breeding for quarter horses is roping and cattle.
So it's a Western,
moving cattle.
more Western oriented.
Well, it was. People have taken them and they show them, you know, but
What I'm trying to ask, I guess, is why are there so many around this area?
So many quarter horses?
To be rescued,
Well,
yeah.
Well, it's not that they're in this area, it's that
At
what I'm saying is in the auctions.
In the meat auctions.
Oh, they're
Why
coming
aren't
from
the
all over the
breeders
United
taking
States.
responsibility? There are breeds that you will not see certain breeds in any of the kill pens, in any of the auctions,
Such
because, well, like the Welsh. The Welsh have a page where if you post a picture of a Welsh that's in the auction, usually someone from that breed registry will go and get that horse. So there are breeds that are now taking responsibility. Just like you have with the dogs, you have golden retriever rescues.
Yeah.
You have breeders.
Jack Russell
It's
rescues.
a breeder that has said, my breed is not going to go to slaughter or to go to the, to be in a...
I guess I feel that way about Brittany's.
Right. So, but there aren't any breeders that are standing up. People are overbreeding, and that's the problem. The breed registry should have something implemented. So,
Well, we were talking about the Amish work horses,
Mm-hmm.
and they're kind of a disposable quantity as far as they go because
They're
it's just
machinery.
another tool.
their machinery.
And if you're talking about a quarter horse that's basically used on cattle farms out west, their mentality is that it's a tool, and you use it until it's not suitable.
The
and then
West are a lot different than the Amish. The Amish are very different than most breeders. They just breed for work. That's all. They just breed
strictly a tool.
for work. It's a tool, yeah.
And when they don't stand up to their standards,
I saw one
They let
rescue
go of them.
horse that came from an Amish farm, a work horse, and he was worn.
What's so sad, you see,
It was a really nice horse, too.
what you see that's so sad is you see this pair of draft horses that have worked together for the last 20 years every day of their life. And then they go into the auction and one goes over there and one goes over there, and it's just so sad. My feeling is, and one of the things that Peace for Ponies will do later, is that we will look into creating spaces in counties that will put horses to sleep. Because when you have a horse, there's really nowhere to put them. If you have a horse and it gets sick, and you have him in your backyard, what are you going to do? You can't bury him
Why?
because it's probably against your town law.
it's
'Cause you've got
probably
to.
illegal.
I saw people bury. Recently, I've seen people.
But
burying
if you have 20 acres, that's okay. But it's
Oh,
really
you're
not
talking-
okay.
You're talking a half-acre house lot.
Well, that's where a lot of the horses are now. So another part of it is finding a space that you could bring your horse and have them humanely euthanized and buried. And there isn't anything like that. So that's something else that we're going to look for and to create later on as we move along, because a lot of these horses are going to auctions because people don't know what to do with them. And people are coming and saying, oh, I'll give you $300 for your horse. And then they end up in the auction. And you don't know that.
Actually, the horse farm next to my farm, a lot of people give her horses or ponies and things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, children grow up and get
Well-
tired of
Well,
them.
it's more economics, I think.
Well, for Peace for Ponies, what we want to do is we want to take pods of people. We're going to take 4 adults and 4 children and create a process that they can do fundraising. They'll be able to go on and see the videos of the kids, of the horses, and the kids working with the horses, because we'll video them. They'll get portraits of them and the animal. They'll be able to go on and see the live webcam. But we have to teach our children. It's very important to teach our children that animals matter and that they can make a change. It doesn't take much to make a change. The 4 of us, it took us 6 months to build the barn. When you really...
How big's the barn? 10 by 20?
10 by 20.
In 6 months?
Well,
to
yeah.
get the funds together in order to build
So
the barn.
for the most important thing really is that we teach our children the importance of supporting the rescues, helping the animals, and changing the ways that they are. So part of it is getting children involved. Part of it is having people all over the world watching. Part of it is educating people about slaughter and
Tell
what
us
they can do.
again how we watch.
You can, if you want to see the birth or the videos of Destiny and Precious, you go on Peace for Ponies Facebook page, or Earth Lodge, and that would be EARTHLODGE.org, and you can click on the icon and you can see them live. And they're out all day in the field. We're right now clearing another field for them.
At your house?
So they'll have more space. Yep, because the area that we have them in is kind of small for him to play soccer. And you know, this has been one of the most incredible journeys, because you know, we're all trying to heal, we're all trying to become more, we're all trying to expand and evolve here. And in order to do that, you have to feel worthy. And this is something that everyone who has donated, everyone who's been a part of it, when he was born, they all knew that they were a part of it. He wouldn't have been here if it wasn't for them.
No.
And what an amazing feeling. Yeah. And that's what it's really all about. It's about you, your worth. It's about you feeling good enough to want to do more.
And to recognize our connections to
all
everything,
beings,
to all that is.
To all of it. And if we can teach our kids and we can get them to be compassionate about animals, it will change. It will change the world.
Now, going back before you started this, I used to refer a lot of wounded women to you. Mm-hmm. Can we take this pony and use him for
therapy?
Yeah, a therapy home?
He already is. I see my clients out there now.
How do you clean up after him in the hospitals, though? That's the question.
No, there is a mini that goes to all the hospitals. They don't soil when you take them in. They do have to wear boots, and they do have to. There are certain stipulations, but I see my clients in the paddock now. I bring 2 chairs in there, and that's where I see them, because that's a part of it. That's a part of their experience.
Okay, so these are people that would normally have a session with you inside your house.
Mm-hmm.
Weather
permitting.
We keep 2 chairs outside of the pony, and we go sit with the pony.
No, we go in with the pony.
That's what I said, we go sit with the pony.
And the pony nibbles on them, and they get to really connect.
They get
distracted.
to connect. They get to let go of their anxieties.
Well,
and they feel very worthy.
Yeah, because they're a part of it. Just being a part of it. Horse is about power shamanically. It's about regaining your power. And I worked with horse after I lost my power through an abusive relationship. And now it's come full circle for me. They saved me, and now I'm saving them.
Yeah, horses are strength, power, and freedom. Because with horses, we finally were able to really move.
Yep. Yeah.
So it also touches on your free will and using it wisely and well.
And there's a lot of people doing equine-assisted psychotherapy, using the horses to join up, using the horses for connection, and it's an amazing...
I guess I need a little more explanation than that. Using the horses to join up, what does that mean?
When you are connected with a horse, when you make that connection, and you let go of that lead rope and you take that halter off, that when you're joined up with that animal will follow you everywhere. You stop, they stop, you walk fast, they walk fast. You're a part of their tribe now, you're a part of them.
They accept you.
So there's a bonding as well.
But if you're frustrated or you're angry or you're fearful, you're not going to join up with them.
See, when I'm walking Jasmine
mirrors.
with my little 3-year-old granddaughter on his back, and I let go of the thing, he turns and heads back to the barn.
Because he's not connected to you. Because
he's connected with the child.
Because you're making him do something and you haven't connected with him. My granddaughter, amazing, 5 minutes in a field and she's got the horse and she's trotting, he's trotting, she's stopping, he's stopping. Amazing.
Would that be what we would traditionally call a horse whisperer?
I think a horse whisperer is someone who energetically can pick up on everything that's going on around an animal, within an animal. Just joining up doesn't make you a horse whisperer.
Okay, I don't know.
Joining up can be part of becoming a horse whisperer.
Yes. It's part of the process.
The connection.
And what was the other thing that you said? Joining up and something else? We don't remember.
And connecting?
Connecting?
Connecting,
Okay.
yeah.
What do you call connecting?
Connecting means that you're both aware of each other. When you're connected, your
Now,
awareness
is
is
this
connected.
a one-time thing, or is this something where multiple exposures to a horse?
I think most people who are connected to their own heart can very easily connect to any horse.
But is it a one-time meeting, or is this
Oh, you
something
mean
that
for doing the equine-assisted psychotherapy?
Well, I'm talking about what you're talking about, the joining.
Oh, joining up. Well, no, it's something that you learn, and then you do it with every animal before you go out and work them. Because if you start your work with an animal by joining up, now you're connected. It's kind of like trying to teach a kid that isn't connected to you, isn't paying attention. When a horse is joined up, his full attention is on you.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I don't think I was thinking in those terms, because I don't.
Horses are amazing teachers. They teach us how to be in our place of power. If we're not in our place of power, they show us that.
We have a little less than 5 minutes, so I'd like to ask if there was one thing you wanted people to know about rescuing horses and Peace for Ponies. Please share it with our audience.
It doesn't take much. We have people baking brownies next week for our bake sale. We have other people working on our webpage. We have people who are homebound writing our blog. We have people who are designing t-shirts. We have people who are doing many different things. It can be simple, it can be easy, it can be $1 a year. It all matters.
I know our wigwam's planning a psychic fair for you.
We have a psychic fair going. I'm also teaching animal awareness programs which help people to use herbs and flower essences and homeopathy and do all of that.
With their animals and themselves.
So that we can get people closer and more connected to their animals.
When they bring problem children to horses, I can't remember what you call it.
Yep, if handicapped children or disabled children, it's amazing. I have some coming tomorrow.
Now the mother isn't too friendly at
They
this
won't be
point.
going in, but they'll be sitting and listening to their story, and they probably are going to give a donation because that was the intention of the person that's bringing them, to learn about it and to give a donation. Because our children need to learn that.
Learn to give.
Yes.
So, I guess what I'm trying to ask is, if we have a handicapped child, in what way do they benefit from going in with dealing with horses, riding on horses?
They regain their power.
And trust.
And, they ride, they connect. It's all of it.
They learn to trust themselves as well as the animal.
They learn to deal with fear. There's a lot that the horses teach us. There's a lot.
Do you let people go visit your pony?
We have an open house every once in a while so that people can come in and visit, but really they need rest and they need to rejuvenate and they need to be trained.
Okay.
So thank you so very much, and thank all of you. And please go to Peace for Ponies Facebook page or our webpage, earthlodge.org, and watch the videos. You'll be amazed. Just
Mail her a bale of hay.
or maybe $10 to buy a bale, because that's how much they cost now. I can remember when they were $2.50. But thank you.
I'd rather see the mailman delivering one.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you all.
Yeah. And someday Destiny will meet his destiny helping others.
Yes, we are looking for homes. We are always looking for homes, and we would like the foals to go to farms that have a lot of children.
Yes.
So if there's someone out there with a large group of kids that could take and foster or support or help rescue, that would be amazing.
Yes, it would.
Because we may not have it all together, but together we have it all.
But I want to bring the pony here.
You have to get some tarps.
I got tops. Are we out of time?
Thank you very much.